Hi, this is Akash. My throat's a little dry because I have been on this 100-hour hard dry fast. That's 100 hours on oxygen, no food, no water, no contact with water, no showers, no baths, no brushing your teeth, absolutely nothing. Only oxygen, just breathing deep for 4 days and 4 hours now. Well, that seemed impossible to me to achieve, which is, of course, why I tried it. I'll tell you about why it's not impossible, and first let me say why I'm making this video. I'm going to break my 100 hours fast right now with I've got some coconut water, and I'll mix up this formula to allow that after so long without any fluids, the kidneys start to contract, and before you put new fluids in, you don't want to have any sort of renal failure. So this baking soda here, and I'll mix this stuff up and break the fast. So I'm going to break the fast in just a minute. Let me say why then I took on this task. Some of you have seen a kind of ridiculous video I made, Death by Hillock. I made the video just because it was so embarrassing and absurd. I was trying to run up this hill, which I've run up 1,000 times before with ease in the past, and I just couldn't do it. I was gasping, short of breath, and it showed me. I mean, I have an Ironman coming up in I think it's May 25th, about May 25th, 2 months and 2 weeks or so. And right now I can't even run up a little hill. What had happened was last year I had completed 3 Ironmans within a period of 6 months, and it's just way too much for me. After the 3rd one, I had a little bit of a physical breakdown. I just couldn't train anymore. I was totally physically exhausted. At the same time, I was overworking. I was writing, publishing a lot. I think 3 books published last year, 2 more. Oh, I got my new book today in the mail. So the 4th book, you can see that. And I had published a couple more. This one I think early in the year, and then this one towards the end of the year, and then of course the Hegel book. So all of this stuff was happening, and I'm drinking like mad, just drinking and not training. I have an Ironman coming up, and as you can see in that stupid little video, I can't even run up a hill. So I had to reboot, and I had to think of how to reboot because the normal ways weren't working. So this 100 hours of hard dry fast is a reboot. But what is a hard dry fast? Probably you don't know what it is. Well, many of you know what regular fasting is, and I don't mean the kind that religious people do, because most of those are not really fasts. I mean, they're very nice, but they're not fasts. Just having fruit on a day, or just drinking juices, or from sunup to sundown, or whatever. There's just a little bit of play here and there for religious reasons. But a fast is when you completely prohibit the intake of anything, let's say a water fast or a wet fast, anything but water, for a period of at least 24 hours. Now, I fasted like that many times, dozens of times for days on end, week, 10 days. I was trying to build up to beat to beat Gandhi. That was my goal, because he had never water fasted more than 20 days. I was doing 21. Well, now I've beaten Gandhi because he could never do a 100-day dry fast. But anyway, that's a wet fast, a water fast, when you have nothing but water. Now, dry fast, on the other hand, is that you don't even have water. There are two kinds of dry fast: a soft dry fast, which is where you can actually shower or brush your teeth. You try to limit your contact with water. You certainly don't drink it, but you can shower. And when you do that, the body absorbs some water, and you can go a lot longer. But a hard dry fast, as opposed to a soft one, is you don't touch water. You don't go anywhere near it. You don't wash dishes. You don't do anything. So I've been doing this hard dry fast, and it's a total reboot. Now, it's radical. I didn't think I could do it. I've been told all my life that if you go more than 3 days without water, you die. So that's why I went 4, just to prove that, as usual, everything that you're taught, you have to, put to some sort of question and experimentation. As some of you who know me know, that I'm a classicist, and I do a lot of reading of ancient literature, the Torah, Pentateuch, the Bible, New Testament, all the old epics and so on, and I came upon something almost the day that I couldn't run up the hill, and it really shook me up. It's from the Hebrew Old Testament. This is Exodus. In the Pentateuch, the underlined part, the law. I just, I'm not the best at Hebrew anymore. But this is Moses was there with Elohim. That's God, or the Lord. Moses was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, without eating bread and without drinking water. That's what this law, no bread and no water. And the no bread is easy. Anyone can fast for 40, well, not anyone can fast for 40 days, but I know I can fast for 40 days without food. But without water, it's unbelievable. And then what does he do? He takes his time to write down, to get from his God the 10 Commandments. So it's a profound moment in biblical history that comes upon because of this fast. And then I started looking at fasting in the Bible. This is from the New Testament, the Apostle Paul's conversion. Any of you who were in my Greek class can read that, the praxis on the deeds of the apostles. And the important part is there. I don't know, you can read that. Right? It's like the law, ude, like the law in Hebrew. Ude. Epaien. Is it coming up in mirror image in the video? This is the Apostle Paul at his conversion, when he's converted from Judaism to Christianity. For 3 days he could not see, and then he neither ate nor drank. So that's a 3-day fast that the Apostle Paul underwent, a 3-day dry fast that he underwent at the time of conversion. And of course Paul is responsible for the New Testament. And this verb, epien, is the third person singular, past, it's a pio, so like in Sanskrit, to drink. So this this really shook me up last week to read these texts, and then of course I have known for years about Buddhist fasting, abstentions. Muhammad, the Prophet, fasted extensively. It's said in some texts that he fasted every second day. And in the Indic traditions, we know how much kinds of abstention there was. But hard, dry fasting, of course, none of the religions do that now. I think the Mormons might do it for one day. But the religions still maintain fasting within them. Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, Christians, Catholics at Lent, Hindus. Although the fasts are really ridiculous, have some sweets and all of this. I'm talking about, in this case, 100 hours on oxygen. All right, so what happens in these 100 hours on the first day, 4 days ago? I had so much body ache from the breakdown of the toxins into my body. Headache from not having any coffee. Anyone who knows me knows I'm addicted to coffee. I'm trying to give up that addiction now. But this is hardly dissimilar from a standard water fast. It hurt like hell, but I was quite used to it. And I couldn't sleep at all at night, just tossing and turning. That turned out to be a bit of a blessing, though, because day 2 came, and I was able to sleep so much of the day because I hadn't slept the night before. I take my daughter to school at 7:30 in the morning. I pick her up at 2:30 in the afternoon. I leave the house to pick her up at 2:30. And what I was able to do on day 2 was just, as soon as I got back from dropping her off, I slept from 7:30 to 2:30. That was a great relief. After picking her up in the afternoon, evening, my pains more or less started to dissipate. Things got a lot easier. I still couldn't sleep at night. I passed the time watching YouTube videos about fasting, especially about dry fasting. Dry fasting is an entirely different species from water fasting. And it's amazing how little information there is on dry fasting. People are just scared as hell of it. Scared as hell. I am a little weak right now. But there are some amazing people on YouTube, and when I would feel just the thirst, you can hear my mouth is sort of smacking, it's so dry. When I would feel like, okay, I have to drink, I would watch some people who are on their 7th day of dry fasting. Usually they shower and stuff to go that long, but and then say, okay, I can do it. So something I noticed on the second night, I couldn't sleep the second night either, and it was I had to take off my clothes. It's pretty cold here right now. It's winter, but I had to take off my clothes, and once I would take off a piece of my clothing, I would feel so much better. So eventually I just had to take all of my clothes off. It had been about 50 hours by then, absolutely no food, no water, no contact with water, and then I realized that my body needed contact with the air in order maybe to first to release the toxins as a dispelling organ, but also to get in the humidity and the fresh, moist air. On the third morning, it was really hard to get up, and I didn't want to wear any clothes, so I tried to convince my daughter not to go to school that day so I wouldn't have to take her. Bad father, but anyway, I did take her, and I noticed when I was coming back how much the fresh morning air just really filled me. It was like a feeding almost. I just stood there and drank it in, and then I realized this was the same thing as not being able to tolerate wearing clothes. I have to be outside, and it's about 1.5 kilometers to drop my daughter walk. So in this 3 kilometers walk back and forth, I was just really feeling great. The air coming in. But as soon as I got home, I just fell dead asleep. I mean, absolutely dead asleep. I guess from the 3K walk. And then day 3 was pretty just filled with thirst. I started thinking about drinking water, just imagining the taste of water in my mouth, the mouth feel of water, and different types of water that I've drunk: Himalayan, Catch, Evian, Perrier, San Pellegrino, Aquapana, this great still water in Italy called Aquapana. I can just taste it, and just I could have like I have these images even right now in my head of pouring these waters and drinking them. So I couldn't imagine how it would taste to have water back in my mouth, or this coconut. I mean, I just right now, maybe I should just drink some. So, should I? Okay, I will. Okay. Oh my God. Oh God. God, that tastes good. All right, so day 4 today. Today I had to start to strategize. I've been thinking about this moment now of, oh, it's so sweet. It's taking coconut water into my mouth. I've been thinking about it all night, all morning, and I thought I got to find something to put my mind on. So what I did was I decided when I get my daughter at 2:30, we'll walk back. It was great once again. I mean, just wonderful feeling with the fresh air. I didn't wear a shirt under my winter coat to go to get her, because I wanted, to just let the air come through, even though it's freezing outside. It's 0 snowing today. Anyway, I picked her up, and then I decided we'll go to see a movie. We went to see this film, Coco, this kids film, Coco. It's really a great children's film. I liked it a lot. We enjoyed it. Took them to see that film, and then I took them out to eat Chinese food. One thing about a hard dry fast is you don't feel hunger at all. When you're on a water fast, you're depriving yourself of food, but you have plenty of water, so you think about food. When you're on a dry fast, you're depriving yourself of food and water. So instead of thinking about food, you think about the water. So there's no hunger on a dry fast. So I took them out to eat. I gave them some nice things to eat, just sat and had talking with them and so on, and then brought them back, got them ready for bed, and so on. With segmenting out all these tasks, I managed to meet to this to the 98-hour point, not the 100-hour point. And then at 98 hours, since I knew 4 days were completely over, what's 4 days? 96 hours. I went ahead and I had a shower, kept my mouth shut, had a shower, and brushed my teeth, because I thought, I'm going to make this video. I can't have all this, I've been festering, dumping toxins, and just like from every pore. It's really disgusting. So that's, the 4th day was done, and that was that. So now it is the 100th hour. I've just broken the fast with this coconut water, but I have to take the actual drink. It's just going to taste disgusting, so I'd much rather have this. It's so unbelievable. Oh my God. Oh, okay. So this is just plain water. This is I've cut half a lemon here. I'm going to squeeze that into there. In fact, I'll just drop it in. Oh, it smells great. Oh, I haven't had these, smells or feelings or tastes. This is apple cider vinegar. Put in. What am I supposed to put in? But first, I'll put the baking soda since I need the spoon to be dry. Baking soda. I think it's 1.5. I don't know how much you're supposed to put in. I'll put in. I'll put in 2 of those, and I'll put in 2 of these as well. Oh, it's bubbling all over the place like a. My camera ran out of battery just as I was mixing this up, so I'll do the rest on my phone. I hope I can upload it and connect it. So I mix the baking soda and the vinegar with the lemon, and it was bubbling for a while. This is to help the kidneys. Obviously, the coconut water is wonderful for replenishing the body with electrolytes and high quality hydration, but have to open up the kidneys after this much time, and so I'll just drink this. What do we call this? Post dry fast detox. Oh, that's horrible. God, it makes me want to fast again. All right. All right, so I can go more than 4 days, 4 days and 4 hours with no food, no water. I think anybody can. But people tell you you're going to die. You're not going to die. I mean, everybody's going to die, but not from 100 hours hard dry fast. But what I can do is run up that goddamn hill. I mean, if I can keep my resolve in the face of temptation. Oh, that's one of the greatest stories of dry fasting. It's also from the New Testament. I don't have a copy of it. The gospel is, I can't remember. Jesus fasts, just like Moses did, 40 days, 40 nights. No, he had no food or water. And then Satan came to him to tempt him. And the story about fasting and this abstaining from food, I don't find that difficult anymore. It's more or less disgusting, the things that people eat and how people walk around so obese and so on. Abstaining from food is pretty simple, but abstaining from water is really the definition of willpower and temptation. So Satan comes and starts tempting Jesus. So Jesus has just fasted, abstained from food and water for 40 days and 40 nights, and his resolve is firm, and Satan is defeated. So this is about temptation and will. For me, I have 2.5 months to train for Ironman, and I have not trained. I've done nothing but drinking and of course working very hard, but a life of stress, stress and more or less the life of the mind, which is wonderful, but has to keep in balance with the body. So I'm untrained right now, gasping like mad in the Death by Hillock video, but if I can go 4 days and 4 hours without touching food or water, despite temptation, I can run up that goddamn hill, and I will complete the Ironman. So that's my fast. I am Ironman, and of course I'm a great philosopher also, not to be discounted. Okay, thanks.